Oppan Gangnam Style.
Please be my friend.
Like and subscribe now. Do it. Disobedience will be severely punished.
What's going on, slavetards? Tonight, I want to do a video about America and the state of America. But first, I would like to ask your help. My YouTube channel is shadow banned. And if you don't know what shadow banned means, it means it's not promoted whatsoever. Nobody ever sees my videos. I put them out and no one would even know I was here if it wasn't for you guys, right? You guys are the only ones that can help promote Rawdogletard, and that's by sharing my videos, put in your Facebook feed, whatever, right? So I'm asking for your help to please kind of spread the word that I'm back on YouTube and I've got something to say. With that being said, I'm going to do a video about the state of America. This request came from a commenter, and I'm going to title this video, America is One Big Plantation. Right? The state of America is not good at all. You guys see it. Anybody with eyes and a brain can see the disaster of this country, right? And the reason why I call it a plantation, the reason why I call America one big plantation with the owner, at Pennsylvania Avenue, Trump, is because what's going on right now, right? If you don't know what's going on right now, air traffic controllers, the TSA, countless people are being made to work without pay. That's slavery. That's slavery. There's no other word for it, right? There's no excuse for it at all, right? Essential, non-essential, it doesn't matter. You cannot make people work without pay, right? And it's your fault. It's the owner's fault, right? All these workers on the plantation are doing their part, right? They're out there slaving away for no money, right? But their owners, all they do is argue about what scraps they're going to give their minions, right? That's what's happening in this country. You'd never think that you'd see this in America, but that's where we're at, right? That's where we're at. The American government is enslaving people, right? And force them to work without pay. That's what's happening, right? And the reason is the owners can't negotiate because some of the owners want to give no scraps to the people and the other owners want to give a little bit, right? So the Democrats came out and extended an olive branch to the Republicans saying, we'll open the government up and end this shutdown for 1 year of ACA subsidies for American citizens. And you know what the Republicans said? No, absolutely not. See, the reason why the Democrats don't want to give in is because they know if they do, they'll get nothing from the Republicans, right? The senators have already come out and said, we don't need to be forced to put more taxpayer dollars into insurance companies, blah, 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 right? Yet they can spend endless amounts of money on Ukraine, right? If they deem the money, it's never on the American people. Get that right. There's never significant amounts of money being, shelled out for the American people other than what's already out there, Social Security and stuff like that. Like they never come up with some new way to give back to the American people. It's some new way to give to Ukraine, more bombs for Ukraine, more wars, more, WMDs that aren't there. You're like, if you don't think that our country is run by corporations, you're not watching what's going on. You're not watching what's going on, right? I voted for Trump, right? It's not my proudest moment. It's one of the things that I'm most ashamed of in my life. You see that guy, right? From day one of becoming president, his first thing he wanted to do is come up with some meme coin scheme to scheme all his, MAGA followers, right? All these people that voted for him, these farmers, all these people, he hasn't done anything for them, right? like he shoves all these tariffs in there. Now our farmers can't sell their goods, their soybeans to China and stuff like that. Like he makes the prices of everything go up, but he brags to everybody how he's brought prices down of eggs, right? Meanwhile, coffee's double, right? Beef is double, rent is double, healthcare is triple, quadruple, right? Like, and he sits up there and he listens to all these billionaires in his ear going, oh, you're the greatest. You're the greatest, Mr. President. Oh my God, we're so lucky to have a leader like you. And he listens to all these billionaires and trillionaires telling he's awesome because to them, he is awesome, right? He is awesome, right? You hear Trump lauding stuff like AI. We're going to be the best at AI. How about, bragging about we're going to put the most people out of work. We're going to put the most people out of work, right? The reason why corporations want AI, the reason why AI is such a big deal, the reason why President Trump is like taking ownership of private companies like Intel, right, is because they want to push all this tech that's going to put you out of work. And the reason why they want to do that is because healthcare is expensive, right? Some artificial intelligence droid, out there, it don't get sick, it don't get cancer, it doesn't need health benefits, right? It's all against you. Everything going on right now in our government in America is against you, right? There's nothing going on for you. There's nothing going on for you. It's all against you, right? Trump, if there's a title that you'd want to put on Trump, the title would be the billionaire's president. That's what it would. Trump is the billionaire's president. He doesn't care about anybody else but his billionaire cronies, right? The first thing he started to do is take care of his billionaire cronies and put them, in positions in his government. Elon Musk, richest man in the world, just got $1 trillion pay package, He's in there fumbling around in the government in the president's ear, right? Like, you look at the inauguration ball and see who's back there. Bezos. It's all tech titans, right? They're all at the inauguration, front and center. And since then, that's all he's done, right? Just take care and have the backs of billionaires. Why do you think after Kash Patel and all these people saying, we're going to come out with Epstein files on the campaign. They're talking about Epstein. But now Trump is president, all of a sudden, Epstein, why are we still talking about Epstein, It was a big deal for a while. Everybody's Epstein. And Trump just squashed the whole thing, right? Just squashed it all, right? Why would you do that? Why would you campaign on Epstein and releasing the Epstein files, then get elected and all of a sudden want to shut down any inquiry into it, right? Billionaire Boys Club. We all know there's billionaires on that list, right? Royalty. We already know, right? We just want the government to let us know that it's important to them not to have child sex abusers in high positions, right? But no, that's not where we're about here on the plantation. Here on the plantation, we give you the information we want you to have. And we give the information to you in such a way we control your thoughts and minds, right? We have you like squabbling about unimportant stuff while we're out here, ravaging and pillaging your wealth. Right? That's where we're at in America, right? That's where we're at in America. And, we have $37 trillion of debt, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And, if you want to preserve your wealth at all, you got to be in the stock market. That's why it keeps going up, up, up. And the cost of everything keeps going up, up, up. And the poor get poorer and the rich get richer. And at some point, it's going to come to a head. I actually think the Republicans right now are screwing up royally. They're screwing up royally, right? They're showing how pig-headed they are and how they're not going to compromise, and they're taking this mandate, blah blah blah, and then over here off of the side you see this Mondani or whatever guy in New York, and you're starting to see these radical left people start popping up. That's where we're going, right? That's where we're going next. I don't even worry about having universal health care in this country because it's all coming, full-on socialism's coming, and the people are going to beg for it after what we've got in this, with these billionaires and all this stuff. I'm telling you, the next president, you're going to see a socialist sweep, and I'm not for it, right? But I'm just telling you, you're going to see radical, communist type socialist leaders. Because people got sick of what's happening, because the Republicans won't even compromise, right? Instead of giving $30 billion for ACA subsidies to American people, they want to give $0, and it's going to cost them everything, right? And they're too stupid to know it. They're so stupid. They're so stupid. They're so stupid, right? When people start getting thrown off their health care and not be able to afford premiums and start losing their homes and going bankrupt because they get sick, the friends and family and everybody around and those people, they're all going to be out for blood. And that means radical Marxism coming. I'm telling you, that's what's coming in America. It's coming in America because people see that only the billionaires matter. Only corporations matter. You don't matter. You don't matter. Everything Trump is doing is for corporations. He doesn't do anything for you, and they never have, right? You think the war in Iraq was for you and your safety, right? That was a made-up war. George Bush made it up. Iraq had nothing to do with 9/11. There were no weapons of mass destruction. Yeah, we spent $1 trillion of your money because guess what? The military-industrial complex needed it. They needed a war, right? Why do you think during peacetime we spend billions and billions of dollars? There's always a war around the world that America has to fund, right? We have to fund Lockheed Martin, right? We got to fund all the military industrial complex companies, right? We have to fund the corporations who lobby for war, right? Same thing for healthcare. Same thing for health insurance, right? Everyone knows insurance doesn't do anything but drive up cost, yet insurance should be illegal, right? If you ask me, I'm not really for a nationalized healthcare system. I'm not for universal healthcare either. You know what I'm for? I'm for insurance being illegal. Insurance on medical is illegal. There can't be any insurance, right? Then you have true free market pricing for medical, right? And then anything that's not affordable to people could be picked up by, churches and charities and stuff like that, because it would be much, much, much lower. Much, much lower, right? But no, we have insurance who drives up the cost, and these fat greaseball pig losers, right? Who was it that killed that United Healthcare CEO not too long ago? Whatever, I forgot his name, Joni, or what was his name? I don't know, but anyway, the reason why that happens, and I'm not saying that's good. I'm definitely not saying murder is good. What I'm saying is the reason why people are that angry is because these fat cats at insurance companies provide no value, provide no health care, just sit in the middle and enrich themselves like hogs on the sick. It would be like a tick. They're like ticks, right? They're ticks. Parasitic ticks on the American people, right? And that's where we live. We live in a country like that, right? We live in a country that forces people to work for no pay or promotes slavery, right? Because they can't negotiate. They can't, talk like human people, human beings. They can't compromise, right? And that not compromising, I'm telling you right now, that comes from Trump. That comes from Trump. I think Trump looks weak. I actually think our enemies and the people he deals with, he looks like he thinks he's weak because he's all over the place. He's up, down, he's all over the place, right? Anybody that knows the real Trump knows he's a bad person, right? You can just see that. The guy only talks about himself and how great he is, right? That's our president. The president of the United States is a guy that can only talk about how great he is.